I've spent 30 years studying the psychology of our times and seeing how repressive it can be, feeling how pressured people are, how, with narcissism, all kinds of things, how psychologically manipulated people can become. If you feel that way, you're in the right place because I have developed the antidote for this, the remedy for these kinds of psychologies in the way of purpose. And I know there's a lot of people who talk on YouTube and other places who, share their ideas. But I don't know everything, but I know no one has walked the walk and made these changes themselves like I have. It's coming from the inside out over 30 years. So, a lot of people can talk about it. And I've studied a lot of folks over Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins, Deepak, and they're all great people, and I've learned a lot. And I believe I'm adding something or bringing something new, a breakthrough. So I'm going to talk about how your purpose, a little bit about what the psychology of our times is, and then how your purpose can be the remedy, and what your purpose is, what your real, not just the passion and superficial level things, what your deep purpose is. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Because the psychology of our times is wacky. And a lot of people don't understand it. Because with extreme narcissism, psychopathy in the culture, some individuals, even our systems pick it up. A lot of things are up here. And there's people kind of behind the scenes or off to the side manipulating and get people to act any which way, being divisive. You see how people express things online. You see the contentiousness. You see how people become divided. And at the heart, a point I would begin with is that, we're not that different. I mean, surely some people are, but a lot of it, we have common needs, health, school, education. We have hearts, we have souls. And if we really stop to think about it, and that's one of the major messages I have, that so much is happening up here on the surface level. And when you get down deeper, purpose, opinions are up here in our head. And purpose is deeper. It's in your soul. And that's what I help people do, and why I don't know everything, but I know I found it a science of finding your purpose. Because to me, it's not just a word. Your purpose is something sacred within you. It's your essence. It's not just finding your passion, but it's who you are. And what we help you do, what my work helps you do, is to take that, your basic essence, and forge it into a strong purpose. Because as I say, the things up on the surface, the psychologies of our times, are very difficult right now. And most people don't really know what they're about. People of previous generations, they're kind of taken aback by what's going on. In new generations, we think that's all there is. There isn't really compassion or humanity, and that's where my work comes in, to say we're going to anchor humanity and bring back compassion and all this kind of thing. So it's a science of finding it's an art and a science I do in terms of purpose. First, identifying your essence, your goodness, then forging it into purpose, so that, it's not enough just to be good in these times. You've got to have a spiritual or psychological battle armor, which is what your purpose is. Because when your purpose becomes entrenched, you can kind of navigate through the world, right? You can even when you get knocked down, you get back up because you have a reason. Nietzsche said, those who have a why can go through any how. If you have that purpose, you can go through anything, a mission, and that's what I'm saying. And it's that positive purpose is what I'm getting at. And the third step is helping companies, families, and individuals communicate that purpose appropriately and assertively. Because once again, you can't go out into the world in an angry fashion. That might get you some clicks and views for a while, but it won't sustain. Because the difference with our work is it's going to be enduring. Then one of the real challenges of our time is that the reason there's so much contentiousness up here is everybody's pursuing success. We get that. And I'm helping people understand that your purpose is a more enduring, a stronger methodology of success than just chasing what's up here on the surface. So learning to communicate it appropriately and assertively, because if you're passive, you'll get run over. If you're angry, they'll get rid of you somehow. The key is the world does not know how to defeat an appropriate assertive human being or company. And that's my work, that's my essence with Gentle Genius Coaching, the Fairness Revolution, and of course the magic of the third way, where I love those words: integrity, accuracy, and compassion. I mean those for real, because it's like, think about the integrity, being honest with people, being accurate, not just splashing an opinion, but making sure it's on point. And then compassion, because we care about people. So you can take a look at my websites. You can, get in touch, follow the channel, all that. But the main thing is that what I encourage society generally, and then in my work, is to understand the calamity, the circus up here. And the way to defeat it in the long run is to discover your purpose, your true purpose. Again, your goodness forged into purpose, and then learning to communicate it assertively. Those are the steps, and I'm happy to help.